3, 2.
Hello! For the first time. Nobody knows
Hey!
what's going on. Welcome back to another episode of Ash and Blood. Episode 17 out of potentially 20. So now that you've reached the final 3 or 4 episodes, be sure to come back next week and the week after so you don't miss this epic conclusion following these amazing characters. And let us return to these incredible characters as they find themselves underground in what is called the Embers underneath the Ashlands. It is a maze-like system of crystalline structures forming a sort of dungeon that spans even larger and wider than the Ashlands themselves. Surely home to many new types of creatures or potentially people, which the group is about to discover as they slowly approach the terrible singing voice of a short-statured, green-hued skin, multiple nostriled
Ooh,
goblinoid creature.
so this guy's
Give us a
beautiful.
rendition. Give us a rendition.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been working all day and I love to work all night.
What's that crudiful croon? Oh, guys hear that?
I'm ready to burn at any time. Just give me the word.
Why would you burn something so crudiful?
Hold yourself, Nicholas.
I've been
Who's there?
working all day long.
Ready, that's all I'm saying.
You go through these crystal structures and systems, and you happen upon a small camp where you see the goblin sat up out of a bedroll with like a little nightcap on, a tiny little fire slowly burning, and he's like rubbing like some stuff out of the sides of his eyes. You see that same facial structure that Brand had, the herb toking goblinoid creature who helped start you on the path to recollecting your memories. That green skin, that long nose that seems to have a little bit too many nostrils, both under it and on top of it. Those long kind of pointed, one of the ears has like a hole punch in one of the ends of it. And he sits up. What's that? Fuff? You gonna burn me?
No. Hello.
You heard that from all the way over here? I said it under my breath. You have some great ears, creature.
Yes. Great ears and a great nose. I could smell you before I could hear you. Just hoped you wouldn't come my way. What do you all want?
I
So he
think,
starts
I
like
think I'll
shivering.
Roll him and go ahead.
yeah, I think I'll just do a little jig and like do his song. I've been working all day long, like in his voice, just trying to find my way.
My goodness. What a beautiful rendition.
Yeah, I
How
thought
do
it
you
was
know?
crudiful too.
I guess you must have heard me too.
We're just
Wow.
trying to find our way. Look at the other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking to somebody here, like a Wellsman.
Yes.
And then we heard a crooning voice through the tunnels. We had to see who it was.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not gonna hurt me, and he's just looking at the one clutching onto his skull.
Clever.
staff.
And I'll go sit next to him by the fire. Oh.
Sure. I have a couple extra bed rolls. Are you sure you're not gonna slit my throat into the night? I have friends. They're coming.
Yeah.
Join us? May we join you?
The more the merrier.
Oh, sure. Uh, make yourselves at home. My
Perhaps it
name's
would be safer
Bland.
to sleep with the safety of numbers, Mayor.
Yeah, yes.
So
Wait, what did you call me?
What was the name?
Mayor? Mayor?
Mayor? I'm not the mayor.
What was your
Uh,
name?
Bland.
Bland?
Land.
Yes.
Not
We met a
Bland.
brand.
Mayor.
That's funny.
Mayor, I like the sound of that. No, not brand. Bland.
No, we cret a brand.
You know, Brand.
No, I'm bland.
Yeah, but he had a schnoz like you. He was cool. He
How many
gave us that good
nostrils does this guy
smoking
have?
stuff.
He's got 4 nostrils.
Schnozzy is
regular-
sorry.
The usual amount.
Wait, 5's not the usual amount?
Yeah, I've never heard of a brand before, but it sounds like a nice name for a person like myself. Brand the mayor. I have to write that down. Sorry. Would you
I like this guy.
Quite all right.
Good. Don't burn me. Would you like some food or something?
What you got?
Well, Olin,
Just
Oh, sorry.
just
Sorry.
might not have enough for all of us.
Oh, I've got plenty of mushrooms.
Oh, well then help yourself, Olin.
Thanks.
He gets himself out of his little bedroll, scurries over to his bag, and, like, sticks his like whole arm in there, and you hear like sloshing around, things moving. But it seems like his arm is going far too deep into the bag than what it shows. Oh, yeah. And he's like passing it from one hand to the other, just like a bunch of.
I'll just like as
differently
he's
colored
passing them,
mushrooms.
I'll like stick them on a javelin and make like a little
Oh,
marshmallow
inventive.
style.
he like puts the last one on the end.
And I'll just hold it out to
Go
the
ahead.
fire. Or like stick it in the ground. Over.
I look over to Basilar, who is kind of standing with me, but back as a Pequenu. Are we sitting down with this fellow?
I mean, he doesn't seem to be any danger right now.
But for the night, is this the spot? Like, look around.
I don't know anywhere else that we can potentially camp out. And if he's camping here, it must be relatively safe.
Agreed.
Like, he seems like he's been here for a while. Or we can, like, go back up. Like, he made the mark on the ground, right? Back there. So
I did. I
you
just
can
hope.
attempt to walk back up. But, like, I think that's going to be a difficult climb to do.
Yes, especially in my condition, I still feel ill. All right.
Yes, maybe a good night's rest will help clear that up.
I look towards Pequenu. You nod.
Let's just join them.
I'll walk in to the chamber a little bit, away from the fire, though. I think I'm a little bit away from you, like towards like my back to the wall kind of deal. I don't trust this guy.
I'll turn to him and be like, Crow, are you crooking
No,
for your memories?
Bland,
too?
not Crow.
No. So, are you looking for your memories too? God damn it.
No, looking for fuel.
Fuel.
You're looking for your memories.
Maybe. Some of us are.
Oh,
I don't know if I want them back yet.
okay.
I'm just like staring into the fire. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Sorry. Don't wait. Fuel. What kind of fuel?
The fuels, the magic. What would you call them? Rocks?
Like, all this around us, you mean?
Like these? Like my bag.
Oh yes, those exactly. No, the special ones, the ones that smell super sweet.
What do they
Sweet.
fuel?
They fuel everything back home. they're just simply sources of magic, and we use them to power our machineries and our items and such. What do you
Everybody?
use as fuel?
I look at the others. Fire?
But
I don't think so.
He said, what do we use as
You're-
fuel? Seems like you guys could fuel dodge fire.
Uh,
Or you, music, Basilar.
wood. Like that can make a fire. You can use that
Oh.
to fuel
Mm.
things, right? Burn it
Oh,
and
right,
it
yeah.
create energy.
To literally
Right.
fuel it. Oh.
No.
Yes. There's not much fuel. Sorry, there's not much wood down here, unfortunately. It sounds good.
Well, I mean,
How'd you
up
build
there,
this
there's a bunch of wood.
Yeah.
Well, then you should have all the fuel you need up there. So, and he's like looking at the bag that you have.
I don't even really know why I have these. I had an idea once, and we were told that there is maybe a crystal down here of great power.
Yes. That is not fuel. One of my other compatriots is on the search for one. That is more valuable than simply fuel.
More
It's
crowded.
for
Oh.
yes, it's limitless potential. Cannot use it as fuel.
Can you sniff out one of these things with them schnozzes?
Of course, I can sniff it out with 2 schnozzes, and I still have 2 left to smell my own forehead.
We'll
But
like turn to the
it's
others.
not
Hey
my-
guys, this guy can sniff out magic.
How else do you differentiate the regular rocks from the fuel rocks?
Guess?
No, you have to smell it with your nose.
I'll take a crystal out and give it a big sniff.
It smells earthy.
I'll smell
Sweet,
anything.
right?
It smells like what? Did I actually smell anything? You said
No, you just smell. It smells like earthy, like from the
like a
from
crystal. Yeah,
Yeah.
just smells like a crock, a rock.
Oh,
You don't
Oh.
understand me.
I see what's happening. I think. Yes. No. They're sweet. They smell sickly sweet.
I'll give you. How about if I give you this big bag? You'll help us sniff out the big boy.
Oh. I mean, it's not mine or ours to take, but
Whose is it?
it's anyone's. It belongs to nature, but I should be giving it to my own people. Although
You
with
can
what
do
have
whatever you
there, I
want
could go back home.
with this bag, but we want the big stuff. We're meant for something greater, you see. Bland, and I like smack him on the shoulder, like jostle him a little bit.
Oh, it's like snot comes out of one of his nostrils. Oh. As he's pondering, I'm gonna ask you to roll 2d6 plus charisma as a parlay.
No, my worst
You want
stat.
him to help you search for special crystals, and you have leverage on him as you have a bag of special crystals.
Ooh, double 5, so that's 9.
Ooh!
Anybody want to help? Give me the 10.
You see, he's just about to like maybe say yes. He's still thinking.
But we have plenty of these pink ones. You could just take them, honestly.
I think that's a pretty good deal. And if anything happens, we'll keep you safe.
If you want to roll, if you want that to be your help roll, I'll allow that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like entice them even more, you know.
Peer pressure.
I think as I'm like trying to convince him to, on the mushrooms that I'm cooking, I want to cast a little spell on it I have sanctify. With food or water, I hold in my hands while I cast the spell. It makes it like holy and like poison free.
Nice.
So yeah, food or water you hold in your hands while casting the spell is consecrated by your deity. It's purified basically, so it kind of
Okay.
poisons. I assume.
Yeah.
It's one of my roots, so I don't know if I need a roll for that.
No.
Nope. Yeah.
Kinda
So as
just like-
I'm doing that, I'll pass my hands on like the mushrooms, and they'll like glow with that orange glow quick, and then dissipate.
You think you might see like a little bit of a reaction, like if there's something to react with like a solution that you put in, it'll start to bubble. But if there's nothing, it kind of like sits flat.
So the flash just kind of like appear and disappear. They
Mm.
don't seem to have been poisonous. He says, "Hey, stop eating my hummus! That was the last I had."
Don't mind me.
What the heck are you talking about?
No, I'll pass out like the javelin to anybody who wants to eat, and just wait for his response.
I got an 8 on my help roll.
Very nice. 7 to 9 on help. I believe it does something. It must. On a 7 to 9.
Expose myself to danger. Retribution or cost.
Oh, okay.
I just offered them all for
Interesting.
free, basically.
Oh, no. Well, you look strong. This one here. If he helps me carry the fuel that we find on our journey back to my group, it might be quite heavy. It would make everything go a little faster.
I could do that. Should not be a problem.
Yeah, nobody's stronger than friend Pequeno.
Oh, please.
Maybe friend Nameless and friend Basilar is pretty strong too.
Wonderful.
Not really.
I've seen you do some incredible things.
Not with these.
I look at my
kind
own
of
arms.
Oh, well then, we better rest up then, I suppose. I won't lead you astray. It is a perilous journey, potentially.
Mm.
Yes. It is. They are usually guarded by a creature down here in these parts.
Can you tell us of this creature?
Oh, goodness. It is quite disgusting of a creature. Many legs. It is hairy and hairless at the same time. It reeks, and yet
Sounds like a
it is-
spider.
Ooh, yes, it is like a spider. But it is like a spider man. Or woman.
Or a man spider?
Yes. Hmm.
Can it, and I look over at Nameless, be burned?
I have not tried.
Can it dance?
8 legs, of course. I'm sure it could dance.
I mean, it might be harder to dance with 8 legs.
How long would it take to journey to go find this creature and the crystals?
Depends how fast we can move. Maybe half a day.
Is there an exit to the surface nearby to that location?
We will pass one on our way, though it is one we usually do not take, which is where the whalesman comes through.
I see.
Are we not allowed to take that one?
No, it's just most difficult. Other exits, usually, they go up in a slant up to the ground. This one is just straight vertical. It's quite annoying.
How do you usually deal with it?
I don't take that one.
Mm.
I usually take one that goes on the outskirts of where all these people up there live. Leads out to the nature. It's more. There are less surprises out there.
Let's see.
Sounds good to me.
I'm in.
I have to discuss something with all of you first, but not with you, Bland. Just give us a moment.
Oh,
Go away.
sure.
Kick him out of his
Just
own
like
camp.
turns.
I mean, we can also like move away a little bit.
Well, I guess I'd beckon everyone over to the back of the cave where Nameless is like, in the shadows.
Kick him away from his fires.
Bland, wait, you can come back to your camp.
Ah! Oh, thank
Just
you.
cover your ears and don't listen.
Sure.
I'll like get up to the rest of the guys. I think
So
we're
we kind of
cool.
gather around and I go,
Looks like he's about to get arrested.
now I'm all for
All that
having a
schnoz and
rest
shit.
as soon as possible. As you can see with the coughing, I still don't feel well after the enchanted bats. But I did get my memories back. Fully. And
Oh,
I've learned something about the queen of the Ashlands. The queen is a figurehead, queen in name only. They use her as some sort of filtering of the magic that they draw from the land. I saw something in my previous life, and what I saw, I was killed for. Olin,
Oh,
I think you and I were brought together to help create a new core for the Ashlands. That doesn't have to be a person. But the reason I'm saying all of this, I think all of you noticed like there's been a change in Nameless, and he's just so much more earnest all of a sudden. Bibi, they're taking her to be the next queen. She is going to replace this human core.
they're gonna krill BB?
I don't know if she can be saved once someone is put into this thing, but I do know that it looked horrible. And I don't know what became of the past queens who were put there. I don't know if they were ever
Wait,
seen.
they have BB.
But why would they want
They-
BB for that?
Because Bibi
She
has
has
the
the
right
right
type of
title.
magic.
yeah.
And we just gave her to them. We just gave her to them.
We let her go somewhere we thought was safe, where she would receive the blessing that she was due.
Oh no, we guided her to the wrong place. We pushed her out of that city.
My suspicions were not well founded before, and now they have support. They have evidence in my memories. We must find ways to bring this to light, find ways to save her. I don't know that it would happen right away. She is young, but I also don't know how close to expiring the current queen is,
And
or
what
how
if
many of
this
these people they go through.
crystal? What if we use the crystal? What if we're meant to find this crystal to replace it?
I think so, but I am worried about BB, so I'm not sure how much time we have.
Right. And we should probably mention something to Izundo.
I think it would be best to do so. He thinks that she's safe right now, and I think that we could use his firepower.
What if he knows already?
No.
Then I will strike him.
I don't think he would do that to his daughter.
Certainly not.
I mean, we've seen worse things from people, I suppose,
Hmm.
but he didn't strike me as that kind of person.
No. But
I don't
these
know
these
anymore.
thoughts, these visions I've been shown of my past life go against everything that the Ashlands, all of the power structure that is here, all of the authoritative structure. And I know that we've already been at odds with that, but we will be even more at odds pushing into this any further. We will be rebuked at every turn.
What?
Like look over at Bland, make sure he's not listening.
Wow.
Oh.
Clearly, he was listening.
I just shake my head.
Start just caressing the skull. No.
Olin, you seem to have taken a shine to him. I think perhaps he is fine, but I don't know that we can spend many days down here searching. But at the same time, I think you're right. I think that if we were been brought together to help replace this core, then we need the fighting power of our friend Pikinu. We need the persuasiveness of Basilar, and we will need your ingenuity and your craftsmanship paired with my power to perhaps
Something tells
change it.
me, though, that this thing needs to be alive. It can't just be the core.
I don't know.
The way things feel here, it's connected.
I think I look around and I go, even if this crystal is alive, all around us, this cave, it has power and it is powerful. I think we could replace a person if they are a conduit only. If there is something more that is required, that is where we will run into trouble. But we cannot know until we put eyes on whatever that was that I saw. But it was torture.
And what of previous queens?
Disposed of, I assume.
Can I, would I know, has anyone seen a person after becoming queen?
No, you would know. Well, again, what you know and what is true is obviously not always the same thing. But
Only the higher circle would have kind of been in contact with the ruler.
yeah,
Mhm.
they pass on and they don't return because they've given everything that they've had to the Ashlands, and so they just get to rest eternally. And it is strangely an honor to be in that kind of solo group of untouched, to never return. You've given all that you've got, and now you get to rest. And I'm sure there have been many religious views of what that means and where that place is and stuff, but they don't generally come back from being queen.
Generally, are there exceptions that have happened, or
You through your, you know what, roll me a couple dice. Roll me a couple dice.
okay.
It doesn't have to be discern realities because you've gotten a lot of your memories back. You're just kind of parsing through some of them. It can definitely be that other fucking roll. I should have opened the sheet. Give me 1 sec. Moves spout lore instead of discern realities, or it could be discern realities, kind of whatever's your best stat.
Okay, definitely
Hey.
wisdom. But that's a 9. So if anyone could potentially help.
Can Basilar attempt to check and back check what the nameless one is saying with his Voerde history?
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. For Basilar, it's recalling things in a similar way, but it's tapping into this almost limitless pool of knowledge rather than just your own memories. So maybe I will, let's see.
But that's I want to use that reservoir of knowledge to kind of back check what the nameless one is saying, kind of thing. Yeah, that checks out from what my I'm not even sure what to call it really. Story knowledge, in a sense. Knows.
You know what? I won't even make you roll for it. This will kind of trigger from your bardic lore, since we've been playing around with it, with dreams and stuff the first time you enter places. So you can back check, and then you can also
be privy to some of this knowledge as well. So we'll treat Nameless One's roll as a 10,
Ooh,
giving you 3 questions.
10, 10, 10.
Hell yeah.
And so you take +1 forward when acting on the answers. I can list them out if you'd like. Your gooch.
I have the list in front of me. But I don't have chips in my mouth.
Stop eating that hummus.
Yeah, what should I be on the lookout for? What happened and what is not what it appears to be?
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah. What happened? What should I be on the lookout for there, and what is not as it appears to be in that?
And this is not like in this current space, just concerning the queen.
The previous.
Yeah, I would say concerning the history of this like power hierarchy with a focus on the queen and what happened there.
Okay. So sorry, I'm gonna forget 2 out of 3 of them. Who's really in control? Maybe would be
What happened?
what
Like
happened?
what is not what it appears to be, and what should I be on the lookout for?
Okay. So what happened here? So you recount the memories that you have of like I had said, the queen being chosen. She has power over most of the decisions that happen behind the scenes. Um, she's granted special magical powers over all the other titles, sort of like that unspoken title that has power that other titles are only supposed to have. And maybe that kind of like reaffirms like why that title would be so not allowed by the higher ups, because it shares a quality that only the queen is supposed to have. Um, they live in security rather than seclusion. They're like very well guarded, just like all the other secrets in the middle of the Ashlands. You had no reason to believe that they were necessarily mistreated, but perhaps they were mistreating somebody with all that power that they wielded. Um, and it's Basilar's knowledge that gives you insight, not to like from the perspective of a queen, because like your knowledge is being passed down from people with your title, and since no one with your title has like been given that title of being queen, you won't get like a first-hand knowledge of it. But you get some combination of whisperings and also first hand accounts from people who had gotten close to the center of the city, whose knowledge and whose voices were powerful enough to be welcome amongst those higher ups. And you know that what happened here is that the magic of the Ashlands has always required the human element for it to be considered whole. The magic is plentiful, as you can see, underneath and above ground. There is no shortage of magical things occurring in nature, but the power and the objects themselves aren't enough. You need someone, you need a mind, and potentially a body to truly reach like the apex of magical power here. And that seems to be the true role that the queen is meant to fulfill. She is the queen because she is by the king's side, and the king is this, all powerful being who is not a human. And he requires a queen by his side to use as a human vessel almost for his power. But you get like you're getting words and stories. You're not getting like images of people who are seeing things. So you might even doubt some of how true everything is just because it's word of mouth. But it doesn't feel like a straight up lie or anything like that. It's just not confirmed with any sort of visuals.
Damn.
And you can like maybe share this knowledge if it's going to change your next question, just to not lock you into other things.
Nope. I love my 3
I feel
questions.
like we're having a discussion about this. So like,
Yeah.
while the nameless one is kind of explaining his memories and everything, what he's seen, what he believes, I think Basilar is also kind of like chiming in with like just the knowledge that he's kind of been gaining through his magic and his title.
Wonderful. Are you like shaking something? Are you using like any sort of musical aspect?
I think right now he's kind of like nervously tapping on like the crystal floor kind of thing. But the nervous tapping tends to it's not erratic. There is rhythm to it, and I think he's kind of just following the flow of the water. That's kind of
Yeah.
like just like the embers and the water of the Ashlands.
Yeah, I think we probably make our way
So
over to
cool.
the fire at some point too, as we talk about the history, and just start including bland in the discussion.
Make more mushrooms. Keep purifying them.
Yeah. He even like he goes in and he takes out a bag of chickpeas and he starts to make fresh hummus since the last of his hummus reserves were taken. He seems intrigued, but vastly like unknowledgeable on the subject. Your second question, which I've already forgotten, what should I be on the lookout for?
Yeah.
Wonderful. In terms of power structure, I think you were right on the money, and I think it's all confirmed pretty easily through Basilar, who's like, I think the tapping and the water combined. To everyone else, it's just noise and sound, and it's rhythmic, but those sounds overlap, and they make like the voice that is telling you these things, and it's a voice made of crystal and water, and those sounds kind of reverberating in your ears. But the nameless one is right. At every turn, this whole structure, this is the top of the pyramid, the strong base that supports this top. They're all in support of it. And so you think that you're going to be hard pressed to find straight up allies within people who are, have power within this structure. Right off the bat, obviously, like anybody given more knowledge than they have might be persuaded to change their minds. You don't think Basilar, especially, that anyone is under influence. Everyone usually is doing things of their own volition. You don't have stories of like whole groups of people just being like under the control of one person for the purposes of like their life and their jobs. There'll be small instances like you saw with Chief Nazu, where they can temporarily take control, but you think everybody is just convinced that the way things are the way that things should be. And so you should be on the lookout for people finding out what you're up to too quickly. Word spreading to people who have maybe a little bit too much power for you guys to handle. But you should also be on the lookout for those of the Dark Temple. One of your potential allies that was killed by Izana, he was devoted to returning the Ashlands to what it was supposed to be without human intervention. That was like one of the points of like people are corrupting the Ashlands and we need to return it back to the natural way that things are without people taking advantage of power and things like that. that seems like a good group to start with. Although your 1 point into that group is now deceased. Although the dead still have stories to tell, as we know, in more ways
Ain't
than
that
one.
the truth?
Hell yeah, brother. And what here is not what it appears to be, I think would be the last one. Other than the obvious, you're not sure how small the inner circle is of people who are knowledgeable. You remember the faces of the people in the crowd, and maybe part of why you didn't like yell out what you know is because you like it would have been maybe even more painful to see that everybody already knew in the audience, particularly even like your close friend who was becoming queen. It was maybe a doubt that you had that you suppressed at the time, but now it's coming back up of like, is the next queen fully aware of what that means? And all the people who are in the running and all the people who are supporting that, and even maybe like their close families and stuff. You don't know how much of a secret this is. It definitely is a secret, but you just don't know. This could be a system of people who are doing this fully of their own volition, or it could be, all a ruse that at the last minute is exposed to the one person who's affected by it, and everybody else thinks it's some beautiful thing. So that could potentially be what it appears to be, but that has to be confirmed. Which you will in future get +1s on all of your rolls to figure all this stuff out, which is pretty cool.
Just gotta remember them.
Yeah, we gotta remember those.
Oh, that's Krevy.
A lot to take in.
Privy indeed.
But
So the crystal
mentioned-
won't work on its own.
No. Now that we've thought about it, I think thoroughly together, without the mind, whatever magic they're working wouldn't work. But we don't know that we want that magic to be working, I think. We don't know that we don't want it. It could very well be that that is the cornerstone of how everyone is alive from, in this land. We have no idea what the magic that they're working there does.
And what will happen if it's gone?
Mhm.
But you said that there was like a whole, like there were multiple candidates to be the queen when in your last life. So that doesn't necessarily mean that BB will be chosen.
Hmm.
No, and not right away. So
So we have some time.
this crystal.
But I feel she's already set up quite high with who she knows and what she's been through already.
But I mean, we don't know what the others have done either.
She also believes very much in the system.
Well,
They love
she wanted
that.
to change the system, didn't she?
I think she was still figuring that part out.
She wanted things her way.
Hmm. So, should we leave earlier or get the crystal if it's not going to be enough?
I think this is a group decision that we have to make together. For myself, I think that we can take the time to get the crystal, but we should then think about how we are going to go about investigating this, because I think it affects all of us.
And we can't put BB in danger either. Implicate her. Crap.
So you were saying that the crystal is half a day away?
Yes. I could try to get us there a little faster if you're well rested off the morning.
Please.
And is there an exit close by the crystal?
Or some medicines for Fred Nameless as well.
Yes. So, the crystal whose location I know specifically, um, it's in sort of a treasure trove of many things.
A
I'm
treasure
sure it would
trove?
be medicine.
My
Yes.
eyes shine.
Yes, a collection of items and magical things. But the woman spider, you so aptly named, collects these things. She can be reasoned with, but she is quite powerful. It is said she is born from hatched of a grouping of eggs that sat very close to some powerful crystals themselves. And she's been around for a very long time.
Do you know what she likes? Like, what could we use to trade with her?
Ooh. Well, she likes this fuel stuff, but I think she has a lot of it already. Though our group has had a couple of run-ins. She can honestly be persuaded to take things that she already has. She's not above hoarding things. It might just take a bit of oohing and eyeing at whatever you've got. If she thinks that you want what you have, then that could be enough to make her want it just as much. But it's got to be
Okay.
something with a little bit of magic in it, a little bit of power. Can't tempt her with a
Chachki?
mushroom. Yes.
What about a glowing mushroom?
No, I fear not.
So I don't have anything like that. I don't know about you guys, but like, I got squat.
I just have these Crocs, but these are for land.
Yes, for me, yes. I don't know.
I have the skull of Nazu.
And I have this, if it comes down to it. I'll show my crystal blade.
I'd rather you give him the one I made. That seems special to you.
No, you made this one. I could never part ways with it.
But that seems like it's a part of you.
Well, tell you the truth, it has unsettled me.
Like my raps.
That could be a clue to controlling your fire then.
Yeah, like it's a part of your past that you can use to harness whatever it is.
How so?
That's about as far as I got, to be honest.
If we do not learn from our past, we're bound to repeat it. Correct?
Well, that's a good line. Yeah. So, like, maybe
A lot of philosophy in the upper echelon that I'm remembering all of a sudden.
maybe something with the blade, like some memory associated with it, can help you focus or
Oh,
concentrate.
Or conduit.
memory.
Oh,
Does it
I
blend?
wonder. Those those nice, beautiful, sweet-smelling crystals that you have so close to me and not giving to me yet. The ones that smells are sort of fruity, more than sugary. They're good with memories and with dreams. Sometimes we put some near the children and help them go to sleep and stay asleep. Sometimes we use them to forget things that we wish not to remember. They can be converted simply into fuel, into raw power that exists within them, but those are mostly guided towards things of the mind, such as that. If you could implant some memories in there or some powerful dreams, that's something of value.
Not quite sure how I would do that.
I think if you want to bad enough, it could happen.
Now, did you mean this pink one, or perhaps this pink one and brown one, or perhaps this one? Sniff it, doesn't smell like anything.
What about the slightly more crink one?
Yes, of course, this one.
They all look the same to me. I can tell you by smell. Hold on. He smells, and he points out like the light pink ones seem to be more geared. But he doesn't seem to differentiate by colors.
Yeah. Can you separate these?
Yes, of course. It's like it's such a like quick thing. He's not even like looking at them. It's just like a sniff. Put them into their different piles, which I believe you just have 2 types of. I think you mentioned blue because it was on the map.
Yeah, you just have
Unfortunately, that
pink.
wasn't one of them. You had pink and then
brown.
pink brown. Yeah. So he separates them as such, telling you again the ones that smell like fruits. The pink ones are suited towards memories and dreams, and the pink brown ones. Oh, sorry, I'm completely wrong. The pink brown ones are the ones that are more suited to dreams, and the pink ones are suited towards like memories. Like he would say, like those are the ones that are better used to help you forget things. Whereas the brown and pinks, they have access to those memories, but it's more of on the dream side of memories. Those would be placed in the room with children to help them go to sleep and stay asleep.
So perhaps we position these crystals around your head as you sleep to try and stimulate something?
I suppose. Shouldn't we all try and do this?
Do we have enough?
I've had quite
So
a few
we don't-
memories of my past already, and I haven't mentioned this before. At least I don't remember. But this sword has spoken to me before.
What? Like Chumba?
Well, no, it's more like a vision, I suppose.
What's his voice sound like? Is it crudiful, like crying?
I suppose it would be easier to explain if you had been there for the ceremony. But Azalar,
Yeah.
it was similar to that.
Oh yeah, okay. Did you gain anything from the memories? Like what were they doing?
It often happens when I have a burning question about something, or a certain feeling towards something. When we were in that room with Izana, and he pulled out that strange weapon, I heard a very, very strange voice. It asked me if I want that same kind of power.
Did you say yes?
No, of course not.
No. That's how you got so strong.
No. I'm just built that way.
I'm just built that way.
But,
Well.
and maybe this is just a little bit of a long shot, but perhaps we could all ask it something together.
The
These
sword?
crystals around, it might produce some sort of vision for us all. I have a difficult time understanding a lot of this strange business with magic, so I think it would help if all of you felt the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, if we can help. We were planning on going to rest tonight anyways, right? So
Bland, you too. Yeah.
Really? Oh,
Show us what those schnozzes got.
Oh, yes. Does this smell like anything?
Could
Look at him go. Go. Sniff, 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 sniff.
You know the smell of a fruit on a bush or tree?
Sure.
This smells like the roots of the tree itself that makes the fruit. So it is dull, but in a sense that it is so overpowering my senses that I could barely get more than one overbearing note of ash.
Don't quite know what to make of that. But thank you.
It is powerful.
Found it on a corpse.
What?
Sure.
Perhaps you could keep the other stones, and then I could take that as payment, perhaps instead.
Well, we already have a deal, I thought.
Yes,
do.
yes.
No.
I think that means that
Friend
is more
continue.
powerful than anything we have.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's part of you. You can't give that away.
Do not try and fool me, Bland.
I try not. I tell you, it is very powerful. Simply, it's rare for my nose to smell something new like that.
Are
Something
you
that even eludes
maybe
my
the Spider Woman man? Trying to hold.
No, I'm just bland.
This little schnoz gob? No way. And I like pat him on the head.
Hey, you're not little. You're just overly large.
But when I get a good look at him, he's actually quite hairy, but also hairless at the same time.
What? Where?
How many legs you got? You hiding one? Wait, that was a horrible
Wouldn't
question.
you like to know?
Oh,
All right.
No.
So we're gonna go with him. Get a little piece of this crystal and head back and make sure BB's fine.
Sleep first. Yes.
But sword questions. We ask it anything?
What do we want to ask it? How we can
Ask it
save
about your
BB?
memories.
How well? I think an important question to ask it would be how to control what you want to control, right?
Ask it if it knows a power source like the Queen.
Close my eyes. Guess I'll touch it, but all of us together, help me, please.
Yeah. Around the head.
Oh shit.
Hands in the middle.
Brand goes to touch it as well.
You can touch
Bland, sorry.
Bland.
Brand is here. Oh.
it. Our boy.
Guys talking to another.
Imagine he
schnoz
like
gob.
takes off a mask. He still looks the same, but it's Brand.
Just
Are you
one
saying all
extra
goblins
nostril.
look the same?
Yeah, just like a makeup covering of the nostril.
She rips it
It would be genius. The name's so close.
You
Didn't
never
think of a
consider
good
it.
name.
Bland.
So let me just make sure of the move so we could mess around with it. Heirloom,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's heirloom. I have it here. I consult the spirits that reside within my signature weapon. They will give me insight relating to the current situation, and might ask you some questions in return. 10 plus, good detail. 7 to 9, impression.
Okay.
You read it like that.
So you are all
Verbose, man.
I'm gonna have you all help first because you've all taught this thing. It's not like a reactionary helping. It's you've decided to help before the thing even happened.
So
Oh, damn.
do we roll something particular? A D20?
So
or
2d6. Okay.
Yo.
2d6 plus bond or a d20.
Or the
Natural
D20?
12.
On your
Damn.
2d6? Yo!
Holy shit.
I haven't had a chance to use the Ashland D20 yet, so I'm gonna try it.
Wonderful. So it's a plus
I only
2.
got 5.
Oh.
11.
That experience, baby.
11.
But that's only D20.
And you got a what, Shitty?
5.
A 5 for Olim. Now, as per the rule of 7 to 9, you expose yourself to danger, retribution, or cost. You also expose yourself, so you still give a +1 on a 7 to 9. But you got a 5, so
I got
that's a fail.
5. Yeah, I failed.
And 11
Shy
on
subscribing for what?
17
months in a
17?
row? Yo,
Thank you so much.
We haven't even been streaming that long.
look at that emote
Yeah, what the heck?
splatter.
It's impossible.
She believed in us before we were something.
Allow me a moment to confer with. Oh, my document won't open.
Uh-oh.
So you have a +1, and then we'll say 2 -2s from the 2 failures. So you have a -3. But it's a 2d6. It was did you say a natural 12?
It was natural, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it'll have a positive flavor to it. But you still mechanically have a -3 from your friends who can mark experience.
Oh. Wait, I thought only Olim failed.
I believe that's what I'm just trying to make sure, but I think at 11 is a fail
Oh.
on D20. I could be
Let me
wrong.
know.
11's a fail.
On a help?
On the D20 converted to 2d6.
You said 11. Okay, I didn't realize you rolled the 20. My bad.
Yeah, no, D20.
I was like, 11 is so good. What do you mean?
That's like the best.
Too much for my pea brain.
I
Okay, so I roll. Did I roll with any bonus? Charisma. -1. Holy shit, that's really bad. So that's a dirty snake eyes.
Ooh, no.
Oh my god. The 11 is actually a partial success. So you get a +1 from him. So you'd only get -2 instead of -3.
Oh, well, it's 0.
So
Right? Yeah.
okay.
I got a 0.
And
wait, I should clarify too, because I don't like ask it a question directly. It's more just like a feeling towards something.
Well, you didn't get it. You didn't get a 0. It's a -2 instead of a -3. So instead of 2, you got 3.
What?
You rolled 2.
You rolled a 5.
No, rolled 2.
No. I got 2.
Snake
You
eyes.
rolled snake eyes.
No,
Yeah.
I rolled 3, but I have a -1, so I got 2,
Oh.
and then 2 -2.
Oh, you have a -1.
I have a -1
naturally.
to my roll, just naturally.
Oh.
Yeah, I have low charisma.
Okay.
Big fat 0. But yeah, what I wanted to clarify is it's not really a question. It's more just like I'm thinking of the voice that talked to me that wasn't like the king's voice. You know what I mean?
But you're not asking it the question that you guys had landed
Well,
on?
that's in like the question. It's sort of like the feeling is related to the question.
Okay.
Because it's like we want to learn more about like the power that it has. So I'm like thinking of like the queen and BB and like this weird weapon that Azana summoned. Like Pequeno doesn't really understand all the connecting parts. So he's just like
Mhm.
putting all these pieces into his mind. Yeah.
Okay, so the current situation then is BB and like what could happen to her? Or what's the like because it
Okay.
says like
I guess like
relating to the current situation. So it's either
okay.
like the crystals that you guys are trying to figure out how to use, maybe, or the queen stuff, or BB and the queen stuff.
Yeah, it's
You
more.
mean
I think there's more thoughts on BB's like role in all of this, and like the purpose of the queen, and like the power of the queen, and what it like really means.
okay. Then you get back a voice, a third voice,
Oh,
not the
oh no.
first deep voice of the king, and not this slightly terrifying, more feminine voice that responded to you when you looked at Izana. But there's this third voice, and it's like a combination of voices stacked on top of each other, but it takes on a more feminine quality, and it is very uninterested in tone. But there's a slight tinge of anger behind that uninterest that's starting to peek through. And all you hear at first is just, and you're like this wave of like disappointment comes over you. Pequeno, what have you done? Have I brought you back for this? All of you? To question me? To try and undo all that has been done before you were even a thought? You want to know what is true. You want to know who I am. Well, first, you must know yourselves. And your vision is all wiped from you, robbed from you, except for the one who rolled 2d6. You are able to fight past it, not even like physically, just like the fire within you flashes and it burns away the cut, like that the vignette effect that starts to happen around your eyes, or around your one eye, I should say. And you feel like your other one glow, and it like pushes away with this external power that is able to affect whatever is coming over you, and it wipes it away from you. And you see your friends, all eyes white, no pupils, even bland, kind of like mouth hung open, eyes drooped, these white eyes. You can move around in space, Nameless One, but we will first go to Pequeno.
What the fuck?
Pequeno, you're like, you Nameless One was given a choice. He was offered a path to see who he was before all this, and he was like an active part of it. You are being like wrenched from where you are and pulled and thrown into a crater, filled with like soot and ash and some burning embers. There's the smell of rotting flesh around you and burning flesh. Nature is toppled over and on fire, or simply just put out because there's nothing left to burn up. And you find yourself like in the fetal position in the middle of this crater. And all the destruction and death around you, you know to have been caused by you. But before, you weren't able to experience all this. You were saved
from seeing the aftermath of what happened when you let the fire take over you. But now you're here, and all of your senses are being harassed by the smells and the sounds, the echoes of the screams of those who were eaten up by the out of control fire that you became. And you see your friends, the people who had your trust, who stood by your side, ridden with guilt and shame after having needed to put you down, so to speak, after you let go. What do you do from your position?
Can I do anything? If I understand, I'm like dead essentially. I'm like seeing myself, my final moments there.
You feel like your body, like you're curled up, but you can still feel your skin and your fur on your hands. It doesn't seem to be on fire. You seem to be like plopped back into the moment after you were already gone. So like your physical body is not on fire. You haven't exploded. You still have your glass cage around you
Oh,
with your flame inside.
okay. I think I in that crater, I like try and pick myself up, maybe crawl out of it, and I think I'm just seeing the flash of that face, that like friendly, familiar face that I kept seeing, and to me, it's like there's no in between. It was just like the flash of the face, and then arriving here, and it's just like repeating over and over as he's pulling himself out of the crater, looking around, maybe hoping to see that face again.
Whose face is this that you see?
It is Lanya.
And what do you think, knowing the full story of your character in your mind, what do you think Lania feels in the aftermath? After everything is said and done, after everything has already come to pass, but like, just the fires are just being put out. And she realizes everything that's happened up till now, what it's led to. What do you think she's feeling?
Honestly, I don't think Bikinu's really concerned about what she's feeling.
I don't know. They're just like you,
just
like
okay.
as the the person who made the character. What do you think she's feeling?
Oh, shit. It's hard for me to answer without like certain information.
You feel as though you can ask, because it'll be explained after.
Is she still alive?
She is like barely still alive. You feel as though she was like someone came in and saved her. You don't know who, you don't even know how, but you feel like somebody acted and stopped it from happening, and they're the reason why she has these feelings. If it was up to what you did, she would be gone. And like she is very much aware of that. Or what happened to you, I should say.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that she's always been very, or she's always wanted Bikinu to be cautious. But he's just this literal fire, that just fights for the man that he follows. And so I think for her, even though that this happened, there's like no animosity. Maybe there's a bit of guilt. She might feel that like she didn't try hard enough or didn't insist enough to change Bikinu's mind. But also knowing that like the man that Bikinu is following and who he like was and is, potentially depending on where we are in the timeline, she can understand like why Bikinu would push himself so much, push himself over the edge like that.
So I don't think you feel the understanding. I think you feel the weight of responsibility and of guilt that she feels for not doing enough, for not saying the right thing or acting sooner.
Mhm.
And it comes over you that you are not in your body. You are seeing things through her eyes. Her being is where you were. She is dead. Her soul is in limbo, and it
It's,
is in eternal state of self hatred and guilt over letting this thing happen to you. And that rushing that you felt was like you being like pulled, and her as well. Whatever this thing is that has this power, it's like pushing you both together so that you're feeling what she's feeling about everything that happened. And you kind of see and feel first person the effects of letting yourself go. Not from your perspective, but from hers. And then you are like ripped back out of this, back into darkness. And Basilar, you're up next. But Nameless One has like full access to his body and everything. Do you want to be doing anything as you see everybody is kind of like in this trance?
So everybody's in the trance. I'm not, but this just happened to the Nameless One down here in the Crystal Caves, where he went into a weird blank trance and basically like told Pequenu that he had to do it. So he understands like this might be necessary. So am I able to look for some sign, like a signs of like physical distress or something like that? And basically, if someone looks like they're being like hurt or like they're dying from this magical effect, then I want to act.
Okay. If that happens, we'll
I like
cut
that.
right back to you before anything comes to
Yeah,
pass.
basically, I'm I'm the drug watcher. I'm like the
With your skull.
right.
You're
Yeah, everyone
bad tripping.
ready to bonk them on the head or smack the spread of their hands or whatever.
Love that.
Yeah, you see maybe Pequenu like start to like his shoulders roll forward and his head goes down a little, but not more than that. And Basilar, you find yourself in a room filled with pain and sweat and worry. They're all like sounds to you, to your Voerde
Izana.
type of person. And I don't think you get like clear images or pictures or anything like that. It's just like these like heartbeats of like pain and worry and uncertainty and effort, and like smells like sweat. And it comes in like this heartbeat, and then the heartbeat starts to get faster and faster, and then it stops, and everything is still dark. And you find yourself back in that place, back at the start where you were with the king.
Oh. Oh my.
Just him, though?
Just him. Like you feel like utterly it's just him.
Okay. Think he's gonna be bewildered because doesn't know what that, like, those rushes and flashes of emotions were. He doesn't understand it. So it's just what was that? Everyone's getting like memories of their past lives. I'm just getting feeling. Maybe that's what he means. Is it's not always a clear image. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I need more crystals. Oh, hi. You're back. Or maybe I'm back. Do you
Perhaps both.
answer? Oh,
It, like, shakes its huge head. I'm offering you this place of peace. My queen has taken control thanks to the item that you have so lovingly all given yourselves to. But you're special to me, Basilar, so I will protect you from her attempts.
Oh, thanks. Well, but why? Like, what makes me special?
I think for the first time, he really goes down from larger than life to a very unassuming, medium-sized creature form. Still not defined, just like the outline of a person made of all the colors on the spectrum. And he puts a hand out and he places it on your shoulder, and it feels like nothing. It feels like perhaps just a gesture. That you don't feel like any hand on you. You were never given a chance, Basilar. You were the product of two people in love who wanted to give the Ashlands the gift of a new child. And for whatever reason that your world seems to give for these things, you never got a day out there. Your time was cut short before it even began.
So I didn't have a life before this.
But I held on to what was left of you, what remained, the untapped soul. It's very precious to me, untainted.
Oh, wow. Okay. I guess that explains things. But how is it that I know things if I didn't experience them before?
See, I need my queen to do things, but with access to her, I can do things on my own, with my own will, unbeknownst to her. And so I crafted you in the image of the Voerde, in the line of those who pass on their knowledge and their memories to each other. I found it fitting for someone like you. And the form that you have now, I did not choose. I believe it to be what you were meant to look like when you came of age. It's not certain even to me the process of birth and growth of you. Bipedal.
Wait, does that mean you're not bipedal?
No,
Oh,
I am something else, but I have will. And I wanted you to have another chance, Basilar.
so then what are you?
You know, after all these years of recycling my own magic into the earth and into the people and getting it brought back to me, I've forgotten what things were before I was here. I don't know what I am, but a little bit of me is in everyone. So perhaps I am of this world. But to me, I don't think it matters.
Okay. But you're saying that your queen is doing this, but Nameless was saying that the queen is just a figurehead, that she's used as a kind of conduit to share magic to the rest of the Ashlands. Is that how is she just like a conduit, but can also like hijack all this?
I suppose I owe you some sort of explanation, bringing you into a world that perhaps you were never meant to be in. It is not so simple. I cannot remove the human from the human element. So although I use it, it is still very much there, and it has its own will and its own power and its own desires that I cannot fully control. We share a sort of symbiotic relationship. I rely on her and she relies on me. And we act together, but we act separately. It is the only way that things have ever been here. And it is beautiful, but it is hard to explain.
But does anyone ever control the queen other than you?
My priority has always been to protect myself and my queen in association with me. This is why the middle of this area that you've all dubbed the Ashlands is well guarded. They've been given
Right.
very specific instructions to keep me safe.
But there is also a title that allows individuals to control others, namely the queen,
Hmm.
which means that it's very possible for it to happen and could be happening right now.
What you have with you now is just a piece of where that power comes from. The place where I exist, it itself has become more powerful over time simply by being around me, being as close to me as anything can be. You might know it as a tower of sorts or a pillar, but over the many years, it has absorbed some of my magic. And people can tap into that place of power and draw magic from there. And it is as close to my magic as anything can get without my saying. And to get rid of it would be to lower the defenses around me, and so I'm forced to keep it up. But the piece
And
that your
that's
friend holds and wields, it is a piece of that.
a piece of the tower. So that's a really
Yes.
powerful thing.
Well, luckily, your friend has only tapped into it enough to be in proximity to me to hear my words.
And those of your queen.
Well, this is the first time that she's spoken to him. I think something went wrong with your friend. Or all of you.
Oh,
You tried to
okay.
tap into something that was far too powerful, and you opened yourselves up to it too quickly.
Is there a way to use something other than a living creature as the source, as the queen.
Not that I know of.
Kind of figured, but I thought I would ask anyways.
I think this is all the time that we have. I could keep you here longer, but I think once your friends come back, they'll want to speak with you.
But I have so many more questions.
And
Let's get pulled back.
You are there. You feel as though like maybe there's like a space in you where
sadness could live, but it's being caressed by the knowledge that like you were given a chance. That like the sadness was there and it was true, but the truth now is that that was only one part of your story, and now you have
I was given the chance
so
I
much
lost.
more.
Yeah.
And before you're pulled into your body, we return to Olim, a very special case. Olim,
you got
you
for me,
feel like a pair of scissors snaps you from your body. And you tell me where the shambling, zombified corpse of Olim now resides in real time in this very real world that we find ourselves in.
Oh man, he'd definitely be like a little huddled camp around like this extremely tall grass. And he has like a few like bandits together. Like maybe not bandits, but they look like nomadic tribe, like hobbled together humans who don't live in one place. And they're kind of sitting around the fire, and he's a little further back, petting a big ol' massive, like greasy wombat. And he's looking over, smoking at the group, and he gets like a twinge like up his spine, I think. And like all around the grass, there's like little glows of like lanterns that pop in and out. And you see like the people get up and ask him questions. And he goes like points like angrily, and they sit back down, and he just stares at the grass. And I think he'd get that like that tingle up his spine, and like the glow in his eyes, and his wraps would glow and show like different markings and glyphs. And I think like they're hobbled together in that camp, he'd kind of see like a vision of Olim, like faded, kind of like Force Ghost, standing in front of him, like gawking, looking at him with like that blank stare. And then slowly the orange would take over his eyes, and he'd see this rugged cowboy where you can't really make out his skin or anything. It's just covered tightly in wraps and sunken eyes under, and a cowboy hat and a duster. He's sitting there just staring at him. And he asks him a question, actually. And he goes,
So wait, who asks who?
The cowboy would ask the other Olim a question. The bird.
The bird Olim?
Yeah.
Okay.
And is sitting there, and his vision comes. And he'd be like, so it's been you watching me, huh, bird boy? And Olim would kind of gawk and not quite understand. And I think he would try to speak back, but just like caws would come out. It's like a cacophony. He like wouldn't have ability of his voice. And he'd kind of like get up slowly and take off his hat and put it on Chumba. And like to everyone else be looking at him, and he'd be like, none of y'all look at me, turn around, keep your head down. And he like circles him and goes, listen here, bird boy, you've been taking some of my power. I can feel it draining me slowly. Been taking my vision. But when you do, I see through your eyes too, bird boy. And I don't know how we're connected, but I'm gonna find out. And you won't be taking my power much longer. And he kind of like circles them. The wraps would glow brighter and then weaken down a bit. And if you're in glory, I'll find you. Whatever's happening, best believe. And he'll kind of like sit back down and keep smoking and like watching him to see like if it would fade away as like the people kind of like hear noises in the grass and start to like panic a little bit. And I think that would be mostly it, unless you have like memories that he'd pull.
No, I think like you feel a resonance between the two of you, like hitting the right note in a room and it like bounces off the walls perfectly. You feel that in your soul to the body in front of you, and like it finally becomes very clear that this was you before you died and after you died. This body has always been you, and your soul taken from this body and zombified and brought back to life to be this guide still holds a claim on the soul that has now formed a new body around itself out here in the Ashlands. And so in a very real way, you are in two places at once at all times.
I'm like looking at myself.
Yeah. And there's sort of like a battle that is slowly getting stronger within you of who has claim on Olim's soul. Is it this new body, or is it the old one that's looking for you?
And I think as if I'm fading away at this moment, my thoughts would like linger on like what happened before this. Like if I'm alive now, what like who is Olam before? And if this is what I've been feeling the whole time, you know, this emptiness, this dread, like, and I felt a spark of joy at one point. So I'm like kind of like wondering where that was, you know. As
And before you feel you can try and like force a question out, you feel yourself ripped back into your body, and you all see like the shared history of this item as it brings you back to the current moment. It brings itself back, and you see this thing being like struck from the hole of the thing at the middle of the city and passed from hand to hand over generations, used in battle for different, like used as a rod at first, and then a staff, and then a wand, and then sharpened into a blade that you now find yourself having taken from this corpse, who took it from another corpse, who took it from another corpse. And you all look down at this blade, knowing its history and knowing your own history.
I puke.
Bland pukes as well.
Yeah.
It's like coming out of all four nostrils.
Is that just
Curl up
history of
into the
the
fetal position.
Yeah, pretty much.
Guys, I'm dead.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
I think you're alive. You're here.
Sorry.
It's fine.
no, wait, I'm dead and alive. I'm alive somewhere else, guys. Crap. What did you guys see?
You saw something?
Why did you puke, Bland?
Kind of.
I think that hummus I made it went bad.
Just
You
made
don't
it.
have time for your hijinks planned.
That's how
No,
he's
but-
lying.
No, something saw me. I don't know what it was.
Oh, right. Yeah. Apparently the queen possessed the sword.
What?
Who's the,
It was the queen.
What does that mean?
That's what I was told.
That mummy guy's
Right.
the queen?
Wait, who told you?
I ended up kind of speaking with the king.
What?
Yeah.
What of your
So
memories?
apparently I never lived.
Huh?
And so now I'm living here.
What do you mean?
That's
What do
just
you
it, I
mean,
never lived.
Olam? You're alive and dead. He's never lived, and yet he's alive. Don't tell me you're dead too, and alive at the same time.
Oh, I died. Died.
I mean, I definitely died once, but there's another me somewhere else.
It's like you have two souls.
Maybe. He said he's going to get his power back. I don't know what that means. Or maybe I do know what that means.
Maybe getting memories isn't always a good thing.
No.
Every
No.
time it is terrible.
Terrible. Why remember when we
Wait.
can just be new
Wait.
people with fresh thoughts?
I don't know if we can let that go. Can you every time?
What?
How many times has it been?
Every time I've had my memories returned to me, it's always painful. This whole time I thought I couldn't place it. Why I was so terrified of my own flame. It was guilt. It was guilt. It wasn't even my own.
But what happened for that guilt to be so strong?
When I died, I burned away all those who were close to me. Burned the person who meant the most to me. My only family.
That's rough, buddy.
At least you wouldn't crew that to us. We're kind of like your family now.
No, I would never. And I've been trying so desperately not to do that.
And you
Just
also
know
have
why.
the harness.
Do. Next to Nameless. I don't know how long it'll hold.
But maybe it only happened because you're trying to hold back so much. Like it was all building up inside because you were holding it in. And then it all came forth at once because that was its only release. But if you schedule release, or not schedule, but like do it bit by bit, maybe it won't be as bad.
Yes, I do agree with you, Basila.
So like you use it, but in small amounts.
We'll see.
Also, you spoke to a god, Basilar? You spoke to the god of the Ashlands.
Who we're trying to get to.
Uh,
And apparently the queen,
yeah, well, that's what he said he was.
the queen just gave us memories and she's fine.
I think I heard her voice.
Well, apparently the king is just like he's here and he gives power, but to do that he needs help, like from a living creature. That being is the queen, and they're in like kind of symbiotic like relationship. But they built something like a tower. And while no one can really control the queen, people can still use the power from, well, the tower without any need to access like the queen or to control them. They can just use the power from the structure that they built. correctly.
Do they choose who gets recorn?
I think it's just whoever's around. The people who make their homes around this tower structure at the center of the Ashlands. Whoever's there, whoever has that privilege, can wantonly use this power.
Doesn't sound like a god to me. It sounds like some entity that's made some sort of a deal, and it requires sacrifices to keep its authority going, its worship.
It
It
seems
sounds
like
a
if
cult.
she spoke, it wasn't a sacrifice. She's alive, right? The queen? She said she spoke to you. Basil, friend Bikini. The
Well,
queen.
we did not hear it
No.
before the memories.
Mm-mm.
Did you hear it?
Like someone was talking down to me. Sounded disappointed.
I just saw a
Did anyone else
cowboy.
hear what he heard?
I was going to. That was the intent, but I like this better. So this is canon.
And no one else heard?
No one else heard.
Okay. No. Unfortunately, I didn't hear anything.
All I know is what I saw. Person crucified in the middle of the Ashlands.
I think that still is the case. It's just whoever chose the queen isn't using the queen directly, but rather just can access the power because the queen is there as a conduit. If there was no living creature as the source, I don't think access to this power that the king provides would be possible. Or at least it would be a lot more difficult.
I don't know that we should have access to that power.
So in that case, I think it means that we shouldn't have a queen. Which would definitely throw the Ashlands into chaos because, well, that's what the culture's based on, like the whole time. It's the raising of a queen, the choice of a queen.
It just seems, I mean, if everyone is happy, including the queen, then is there really a problem?
No, I guess not.
Only for those who are made unhappy by others who wield power the way they shouldn't.
That just sounds like nature, baby. Law of the fittest.
Or law of the most privileged.
I guess. Or most powerful.
I have to sleep on this. It's getting late.
Definitely a lot to mull over.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of baggage.
Like you have none?
I'm well equipped. I've got a bag that can hold a lot of baggage.
Oh, well, I mean, if you can give us one of those, we'd be helpful. We'd be equipped too.
Yeah, sure.
Really?
Yeah. Why? It's not
Oh,
that
I don't know.
special.
Yeah, you're right. It's not that special.
We don't have anything like that, so.
You're quite generous, Bland.
No worries. He like goes in his backpack and like attached to the outside, they look like kind of like towels, tightly wrapped up. And he just like takes one out and unravels it, shakes it out. It's all wrinkled. There you go. Just don't put another one inside of this one. Bad things happen.
So he gave us a towel?
No, it looked like, it's like a bag, but rolled up.
Okay, like completely
Kinda
wrapped
looks
up
like a
in
towel.
a. Okay.
Yeah, but he shakes it out. It's like a wrinkled bag. Just like
Oh.
kind of gives it to you. There you go. Just
Thanks.
put anything in there except for another one of those things. You'll be fine otherwise.
So like putting in like the 2 daggers that I got from like the corpse back there, and the parchment and everything. Like it actually disappears. You can't see it. Like I show everybody else like the inside, and it's just not there.
Yeah. They wouldn't send us on these journeys if we just had to carry them back ourselves by hand. So we just made big bags.
So wait, and what did you need Bikini for then?
Wait.
Oh. I just wanted to make
Ah.
it sweat a little.
Well, since you gave us the bag, I'll do it anyways.
Thank you. I mean, I didn't really bring many bedrolls. I do have a couple spare ones, but you know,
No need. No.
the ground is kind of soft. It's not soft at all.
I don't think I can sleep tonight.
Yes, I'll just
Well,
lie here in this depression and go find like a little like bit of crystal floor, just like.
Bland just curls up in his bedroll, hums himself to sleep.
Yeah, just curl up by the fire.
Those 2 crystals. One was just to forget, or just works with memories.
It works with memories, but he gave an example as to help forget.
I think Olam will wait till everyone's asleep and grab one of the memory ones and like find somewhere like a little quiet away from everyone and try and use it. I guess with like my like cleric magic, the commune, to try and gain some of my happier memories, because I know there's something there. I can feel it. So I think I want to try and access that first life while everyone's asleep.
Yeah. Okay.
I think.
Are you doing this while sleeping, or you're staying up?
I'll stay up. I'm gonna stay up.
Okay. Yeah. How do you set up this little seance?
I guess I'll just like grab 2 and just like put them in front of me. And I guess I'll like just draw like I think I'll draw something, like search my memories and try and draw something that I remember, I guess, in between the 2 crystals, and then use commune to see if I can kind of activate them or something. Yeah.
So you feel first thing that you feel once you know that this is working is 2 tunnels, one that's like sucking air and one that is pushing it out. And you feel it's these 2 channels that are opening up. One where you can resonate with this magic and give it a memory. You feel as though you could even forget something that you've recently learned, and it'll accept it, or it'll use the small amount of like latent magic. Well, small in the grand scheme of things, but still pretty magical. The magic that is in it to help open up your own memory, and then that crystal will become like depleted. So you can either like fill it with something, or you can just use whatever fuel is within it to help you remember.
Yeah, definitely want to try and remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that wind blows over you, and maybe your eyes start to glow orange. And you can roll a spout lore, and I'll give you advantage on it using this
baby.
crystal.
And spout lore is
Spout
wisdom,
lore is intelligence.
Intelligence, slightly worse. So it's either a 7 or 11. Let's go with the 11. Yeah, let's go with the 11.
Let's go with the 11.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? What kind of memory are you hoping to get?
I guess I'm trying to look for something like happy.
Mhm.
One of my memories, or yeah, I'm focusing on something more positive to kind of like round out, finding out that I'm still potentially alive somewhere else. So I want to, yeah, look for something of that first life. You know, trying to piece together who Olam was a little bit more, rather than just this dilapidated freaking husk.
You remember the part of you that you still have here and that you've always had here, not that you've tapped into, not that kind of like orange magic connected to this other powerful thing out there, but something that is within you. You and your pal, your lifelong friend who's somehow transported with you into this new world. Um, and you remember putting your hat on his head and riding him around, but it's the memories aren't really focused around him. He's just always there.
Hmm.
Do you remember being um not a guide, not in this point, but a helpful presence for those in nature who were of need of it? You had the ability to speak with them and to understand them in a way that no one else really could, or not many other people really could. And more than that, you had the desire to dig deeper into those people, into like their wants and their needs, and to find solutions for them. Whether it be other humans or spirits or animals, you just felt this need in you, both to build physically, but also to build others up by giving them things that they couldn't have without you. Whether it's like small, someone in need of food, or someone in need of direction in life, or a very difficult problem, or even like a fight. You felt yourself being pretty capable with weapons if you needed to help protect someone. You were someone that people looked up to, um, and you were well respected for your actions.
I think Olam
Not
gets like swelled
always,
with pride.
yeah, they weren't always, perhaps like the other people with more power than you didn't respect you as much what you were doing, but the people around you who were in need, those who were potentially weaker than you in some ways or another, their respect is what you garnered, and their respect is what really mattered to Olam. And so maybe you're brought back to this place of like, maybe I don't need to go and do the big stuff. There's plenty of people out here and spirits and animals and souls that are overlooked, and maybe they need help as well.
That's beautiful. I think like a little tear runs down his little crow eye. As he gets like
Cry.
swelled with this like pride and this like love for like helping people in different ways. And I think he gets like a little flash of like his shop back home with like his uncles and them like chiseling things and creating the little wombats out of like granite. And then like the day the police force asked him to join for tryouts, like just like a few like good moments just like that. And then he'll kind of pop back to not in his cacophony of craws. It's kind of more humble, peaceful. And I think some of the feathers on his arms would like recede a little bit, and his hands will look a little bit more human-like. And then yeah, after that, I'll sit back by the fire and like take watch really until someone wakes up. And I'll nap.
You see the crystal like kind of like crumbles into like little pieces, dark now, like dark brown, like clear spots. It seems to be depleted, but put to good use.
Mm.
After Olam spends some time taking watch, I think Bland shoots up out of bed. Good morning.
Do you have sleep apnea?
Good morning.
Hey, you're awake pretty early.
Didn't sleep much.
Hey, come on. We got a big day ahead of us. I don't need much sleep. You worried about something?
Yeah. Yeah. Worried about a lot, actually. I just figure we came out of the water together. We're gonna stick by each other through a lot. And we always kind of need somebody watching our backs.
It's beautiful.
Also, I like you, but I don't know you, you know?
Yeah, but who really knows anyone?
No, that's not how that works. No.
Oh. Well, maybe we'll get to know each other.
Maybe. You got any drinks in that bag?
Like fun drinks?
Just social. I don't know. Water. Just a cup, you know? I find
Social
conversations always
water?
easier with a cup.
I mean, there's water all around us. Like, takes out like these two rock cups that are like stacked on top of each other, and takes them off.
I'll lift him up.
Oh, thank you. I should have done this earlier. I don't know why I waited till we were all the way down here.
Nah, come on, buddy.
And he just hands you one.
Yeah, and I'll sit. I won't sleep though. I'll wait till one of our party members wakes up, and I'll sit and talk with Bland and drink this water.
Yeah.
Good soup.
The water is like, it's almost too refreshing. It's like you fill the plate with too much food, and now you're like, oh, I can't finish this, which is a weird sensation to get from like one cup of water. But yeah, you feel like almost overhydrated. It's like you're going towards there. And so you most likely stop if you don't wish to push yourself further.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna overdo it.
But he shares some stories, mainly that he's on an expedition right now with a group of about 10 other people like him. They regularly are sent out into the different cave systems to find more of these fuel rocks, as he calls them. And he says that they kind of power everything about his society. They are magical. He knows some spells, but nature is where the true magic lies, in his little underground city. And he tells you that he has no queen. He just has, they call her the godmother. And she is like the oldest, the oldest
Gob.
woman of the group, the oldest gob, the oldest Shanaz of the group, is given the position of godmother. And she helps guide the young, make sure that all of the magic systems are up and running. She delegates things as well. She's not given any huge power, like maybe hearing like God Mother, you maybe like probe him a little to see if it's like another queen, but it just seems to be like a matriarchal society, just built around the wise leading the group more than those who are more powerful than others. And there's some research being done into these rocks as well. As time has gone on, they've tried to develop new ways to use them. That's not his business. He's just one of the gatherers. But there's another group out here looking for a similar crystal to yours, and he just lets you know that like he could lead you to them, but they're likely going to really want to bring back this thing to their people, and they will fight for it, or not. Maybe not. It doesn't mean violently fight, but they won't give it up. And so he's taking you to another one that he knows of that's a little too dangerous for this exhibition group, but you guys potentially could handle.
Oh,
Is there anything that you share with him about yourself?
Probably way too much. I share with him like everything. I'd be like, yeah, we came out of the water and it got all like rocky and we learned stuff. We learned who we are. We met this little beauty. We killed Chief Nazu and we burned down a place. I like literally just unload.
Whole 17
Yeah.
episodes of Ashland.
Yeah.
Okay. And a bond is formed throughout the night.
Hey, a schnoz bond.
A schnoz bond that will come to pass once he brings you to this beautiful, powerful crystal. And so you feel that like there's at least some trust in the bond. He wants to bring you there now. You don't even know if he's going to force you to be good on your side of the deal. He seems to look forward to going on this journey with you and learning more about your crazy group of people who kill the chief and then put his skull in a glass container.
They'll be like, but don't tell anybody.
Yeah. Mum's the word, huh? Grandmom's the word.
Crumbs the curd.
I think the whole night passes and everybody is so deep in their sleep and in their thoughts that nobody wakes up. And you don't feel any effects yet. You're probably still tired, but we'll say you get no sleep that night. And the rest of the party wakes up. Probably to the smell of crushed chickpeas and spices and some water being mixed together.
We got any more mushrooms in there?
Don't eat the hummus.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. You look terrible still. Sorry.
Feel terrible. Nameless, could you help me with something? I know it's early, but I want to get it out of the way.
Am I still impaired from the bats?
I will say that you can remove your -1 to strength. You have your strength back. You maybe have a little bit of brain fog still.
I'm sure I'm feeling a little bit better today.
Well, perhaps it won't be so grueling. I simply want to remove the casing you made for me.
Oh. You gave it some thought?
I did. Feels a little too constricting now.
I see. All right. Let's do it. And if you need me, I will be available to help you control the flames. You need but ask.
Thank you.
All right.
I am ready.
Let the warning system be gone. And I'll like tap it with the staff, but I use my my skill with a bit of time to simply open it.
Yeah, how do you want, because it's made of glass, how are you going about this?
Well, it's magic. So what I was thinking was that maybe with the staff, I hit it, and then the glass like flows up into the staff, and then like twists around it, kind of reinforces my staff a little.
Yeah. It twists around your staff, but not in a nice like tube almost. It goes up in like a line that like splits and then splits again and splits off in multiple directions all around your staff, like just like as if it like kind of like flashed up, and all these little lines peered off from each other and then reconverged later. It looks pretty sick, but it doesn't feel like your magic hasn't taken that form yet.
It's like a web.
Well, it
Little
seems like
fishnet stocking for your staff.
Hell yeah. It seems that your magic was definitely radiating into the glass. And now it has some of those. I can see almost the forks of flame in the patterns here.
Ah. You're welcome. No, but thank you. Thank you. Ah, feels much better. It's getting very stuffy in there.
I
To go
should say
cool
so.
off.
If it was keeping the radiation in, then whatever was emanating from you now will be released, as Basilar said yesterday. I think it will be good. Hopefully.
Agreed. Now, it smelled quite delicious. Go over to the fire.
No, wait. Remember yesterday?
What?
When he threw up, it was the hummus, he said.
Can't be that bad.
It's only him that threw up.
Did anyone else try the hummus?
He ate all the rest of my hummus.
Of
You
course.
can't eat my hummus and then say my hummus is bad. I said my hummus was bad. You can't say my hummus was bad.
Well, could I judge it for myself, please?
It was quite good.
Yes, please. Here. And he like scoops it with like a rock and he gives it to you.
Just like that.
You just like suck it off the rock.
Tastes fine.
I think
Good even.
as soon as everyone wakes up, Olam would pass out. Just like
Oh.
wholesale.
Oh,
Oh no.
how are we going to continue on today if he's passed out?
They'll
Put him
wake
in the
up
bag.
like, hey, I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm awake.
Oh,
I'm awake.
never mind.
I'm awake.
Did you stay up all night?
Yes.
Why? You were just talking about how getting a good night's rest is important.
I know. I was just so obsessed with knowing more about myself. I needed to know more. And then
You
I
were?
found out about Bland here and his whole tribe. He's really fascinating. And I told him everything about us.
Oh, what? Oh,
Hmm. I think
now
you
you're
guys
tied to
did.
us.
You did a lot, but I'm not one to judge.
Friend
Welcome
Bland.
around baggage.
Friend Bland.
Yeah. Did you guys do the thing with the crystals to put your memories in to offer to Shathid?
No.
Oh,
Olam puts up his hand.
oh, perfect.
Thank you all.
Why is that perfect?
You put one of your memories in to use as an offering? Is that what you meant with
Oh,
your
well,
raised hand?
I got a memory back. I don't know if that's the same thing.
Oh. No, it's quite the opposite.
Oh, I misunderstood. Sorry.
Oh, listen, maybe we could take a detour and try and find some treasures lying about. We don't really pick up any discarded items that aren't fuel or magical crystals. So maybe we'll find something in these caves. You're not the only ones that have come down here, you know.
Ooh, well.
Olam.
Friends? Let's say you. Well, we're kind of in a hurry, Bland, I assume.
Oh. Listen, if you could subdue her for long enough, you could probably hightail it out of there with whatever you needed. you could be in mortal danger, but if you're in a hurry,
Does she like stories?
potentially. Yeah.
Maybe we can tell her a story.
It would have to
You're
be a
quite good
pretty
at that,
good
Ola.
story.
Right. Well, let's not waste any more time. Olam, hop on. You have a nap to finish.
Oh, okay. It's like so much bigger than you two. The Carl effect. The cute
Are you?
dragon.
Wait, how big are you again?
Olam's 5'10".
Okay, not that much bigger. Not that like a foot.
Wasn't Carl 2'7" or
He's
something
like
ridiculous?
Yeah, like 2'3" or something stupid. Sure. Great.
Then the whole party here, along with friend Bland, gather together. He picks up his tent. He puts out the fire. He says a little prayer to himself, and then he leads you down. Hold on, I have to move this one, and then I have to move the one that's on stream.
Witch magic.
God, roll 20. Okay, can I group you all together so I don't have to move you individually?
But we can move us. Where do you need us?
That's true. Okay, yeah, I'll just move Brand.
Yeah.
So
Follow the leader.
Brand walks through here. Oh God, and then I have to reveal this small rectangle.
Sleeve it.
And as you pass through this area right here, a column of water, like a waterfall, falls in front of you. And this ghoul-like creature emerges from the mist of the waters, hands outstretched towards you, frail and long curled fingernails that his entire body is luminescent blue, almost see-through, and they lunge out at you, Nameless One. And that is where we shall end.
Oh damn. No,
Race
put it back.
background?
Put it back in the well.
Was not expecting that.
Well, he didn't know it was there, and that was the fastest way to go.
Didn't think there would actually be like anything there.
Yeah, I thought you just forgot that rectangle. You know, you can put stuff on the GM layer, right?
Yeah. But when we did the Fog of War, I was like, okay, I'll just put everything on the player level. Thank you all for watching. Apologies to the group, but you did monstrously fail a roll together, touching this powerful item that has access to the most powerful being on this plane. Not plane, but in this area. So we had to honor that. Hopefully, you've all learned something about yourselves, both the past and at the present, and potentially that will lead you towards a future of your choosing. But until then, we will reconvene again on Thursday. I believe we are doing a world building stream. So come on by for more Hexa goodness. You can find us on YouTube.
EXP. Whoa.
Oh,
Hey.
oh yeah.
Crucial.
You can find us on YouTube and Twitter, all the good social medias. Follow us on our Discord where we post memes and GIFs. I think we forgot to today. I know I did. So you are welcome to leave and enjoy the rest of your night. If not, stick around. We will be doing EXP goodness.
EXP.
So first off,
we need
you
to say
guys
bye
can
to the
level
people.
up.
They don't know.
You can level up whatever you chose because you slept last night. We'll say that the experience that you get now also counts towards that. So if after today you're brought to the next level, you have everything. And if you were already at the next level in between the two sleeps, you have everything. So let us first go to the wonderful world of
Splash the EX
alignment.
beyond me.
Splash it. We start as always with Pequeno. Lawful good. Protect someone weaker.
Okay.
Nay. Nay today. Brent, nameless. It's changed. Yours has changed.
Spread a dangerous idea.
That's what it is. Thank you.
And I
Do you
did.
believe that you've done that? Okay.
Bland is now has this idea. He's intrigued by the conversation. I also spoke to everyone about the backstory that I saw.
Yes, very true. Okay. One experience.
Hey,
Basilar, perform your art
backing them in.
to aid someone else.
Not really.
Not today. Olim, help an animal or spirit of the wild.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay. All right.
Well, yeah, I don't think so. Unless you count the Schnozgob as an animal.
I do not. But I think I will give you experience from the countless amount of animals and spirits that you now have known yourself to have kind of devoted yourself to helping. We should honor that.
I'll take
and give you one experience.
I'll take it.
To say that remembering a lifetime is not an experience would be crazy to say. Bonds, we have a bond formed
experienced.
with Bland and Olim. He promises to bring you to the location of where this powerful crystal is. Perhaps you promise each other to bring each other there. Watch each other's backs. I don't think there's any other bonds resolved.
Question.
With his flame.
Yeah.
I had this as he wishes to remove his flame, but I think we can control it. How do you feel about this bond, Pequeno, now?
It has changed slightly,
I
but I don't know if it's been
moved-
resolved.
Yeah, I don't think it's been resolved either. But I just wanted to point out, I think we've worked on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Same for Pequeno and Basilar. The idea that, like, can you ask Basilar for help to calm him?
Mhm.
But now it seems that he wants to try and learn to control it. So I'm not sure if that changes the parameters of the bond, or if it's still like, if it ever goes haywire, he's hoping that Basilar will help him.
I think that's a safe bet to say is correct.
Okay.
It might be a difficult journey to gain control, and a calming effect is much needed in those situations.
Basilar will try and be the fire extinguisher.
Wonderful. Have we learned anything new or important about the world?
I'd say
yeah.
Yes, indeed. Indubitably.
Indubitably.
Godmother.
So many iterations. The
Schnoz, mommy.
Schnoz, mommy. Did we
Sounds like Barbara Streisand.
did we stop any notable enemies or threats?
I think so.
No,
I don't believe so.
no bats.
The Queen
Um,
with that double 6. I feel like Nameless overcame a notable enemy.
Oh.
That's
That is
interesting.
true. Is the queen an enemy?
Oh yeah, seemed kind of enemy like.
Yeah, a little bit.
CJ seemed pretty intent on giving that XP.
Yeah, I'll give it. It's notable. You feel as though you've potentially made an enemy.
Yeah, there are feelings of animosity here.
And yeah, it was overcome by a couple of you with a little bit of help, but nonetheless overcome. And did we loot any memorable treasure?
Our memories supposed to be
our
treasure
I would
still.
say, yeah, I want to give you experience for now being more fully fledged characters, and I think that's the perfect way.
Why do I
Nothing
feel
more
like we're gonna
memorable
get
than-
fucked? Like you're just dishing out the XP like Oprah goddamn Winfrey, just waiting for us to fight this spider leg.
I almost got killed by bats down here, and we're trying to fight a drider. Come on.
You didn't have to.
Drider-like creature.
Yes, thank
Like-
you.
Man spider.
Yeah,
Woman
man
spider.
Woman spider. Spider-son.
Spiderson.
Spider person.
And unless there are new bonds to be
Oh, man.
formed, we will call it there.
I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you again for sticking around throughout this episode and all the other ones that you were here for. If you're not, no worries. Go back to our YouTube, like I said, and catch up on those. Otherwise, we will see you on Thursday. A little more chill, a little more discussion-y. We'll be looking more at chat and stuff. So if you want to interact, that's the day to come. So without further ado, we are Hexagon, and we are Hexagon, and you are Trash OK. Bye.
Hexilla,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Have a good one.
So bye bye.